Okay, I know I have not posted in a while, and it's something I need to work on because I put in a lot of effort into this channel, and I'm proud of everyone who has made the time to subscribe and watch all my old videos. And I know I had different types of content. I've done documentaries, I've done reaction videos, I've done uh, point of view, or I've done videos where I just talk about life, just like this video. And I've also done what I'll call mini documentaries, giving you insight about Nigeria. I've talked about the North, I've talked about the Southwest, I've talked about the Southeast, and different types of content. But for some time, I haven't done a full scale video, uh, and this is because there's just been so much going on, uh, at the moment that didn't allow me to sort of like post. But I know that the YouTube community is a strong one, and I miss all of you. I miss my the comments. I miss the engagement. I miss even putting out the content together. This post really, or this video really, is about us taking care of our health, right? And I just wanted to talk about the foods that we eat. The foods that we eat are so important to us at any age. I think you can sort of like get away with it in your teens and your 20s, but around the 20s mark, your metabolism starts to slow down, which means your body's way of breaking down the foods that you eat and getting rid of it from the body, whether through waste, whether through sweat, or through just natural breathing. Because we breathe fat out of our bodies. A lot of us don't know that we breathe fat out of our bodies, but we do. So in our 20s and late teens, that's why you see a lot of people, first year in uni, second year in uni, and late secondary school, most students tend to be quite slim. The reason why they're quite slim is because their metabolism is high. But by the time you get into your late 20s, 30s, certainly by the time you get into your late 30s, you will notice that you've started to add weight. The reason why you're starting to add weight is because your metabolism is now slower, which means if you don't move, if you don't do exercise, if you don't move, if you don't eat right, that food is going to stay in your body. Now, it stays in your body in certain areas. For women, tend to be their hips, their thighs, other parts of their body. For men, it tends to be mainly the belly area for men. The belly area for men, sometimes arms, but usually the belly area for men. And people say beer belly, but there are many people who don't drink any beer, who don't drink any alcohol, and still have these bellies. So it has nothing to do with the beer. But they say beer belly because it's associated with people who drink beer, but there are people that don't drink beer that also have this belly. And the best way to get rid of it, which is linked to health, is to have what is called a calorie deficit. So, what is a calorie deficit? A calorie deficit means that what you eat has to be um, less than what you need. Now, that's difficult to do because how are you going to measure what you need versus what you eat? You will know. You already know when you look at yourself. And if you're overweight, then you're eating more than you need to, unless there's a medical condition that is making you gain weight. But if there's no medical condition that's making you retain the weight, usually it will be because you're older, like I mentioned earlier, or you're eating more than you need to eat, which means you need to cut it down. So if you cut down the food that you're eating, meaning the portion control, they say sometimes you need to just make sure that whatever you're eating should not be more than a palm size. So if you're eating beef or chicken, it should not be more than this. If you're eating rice, it should not be more than this. So your portion control has to be better. Now, for vegetables, leafy greens like kale, like broccoli, like spinach, you can have more than a palm size. You can even have 2 or 3 palm sizes because it's fiber and it's good for your digestion, and it helps. The body does not retain it like the way it retains sugar, right? And when I say sugar, I'm talking about the sugar that we eat, like the cubes of sugar or the granulated sugar. I'm talking about honey in the processed form. I'm talking about the sugar that we have in ice cream, the sugar that we have in chocolates, the sugar that we have in biscuits, and all these other sweet things, actual sweets, and all of that. That sugar, as you get older, when your metabolism is slower, that sugar retains in your body, it stays in your body. And that sugar is actually used for energy. So when that sugar is used for energy, right? Because you're not also burning a lot of calories, you're not doing a lot of physical exercise. Once the sugar that you've eaten is used as an energy source, the remainder goes into these areas that I talked about for women and men. And it continues to get bigger and bigger as you get older. So if you're able to now have an active lifestyle where you do 30 minutes of walking a day, you go to the gym, or you do some kind of weights, you can reduce the effects of that. But the main thing is your diet. So a lot of studies have said that 86% of any kind of weight loss you want to do has to be your diet, which means you need to eat better. Now, we've been told a lot of things from when we're young that you need to eat a lot of carbohydrates, and you have to eat more carbohydrates than fats and vegetables and water. That is not true. A lot of recent studies have said that carbohydrates, which are broken into sugars, glycogen, fiber, and what's the last one? So sugars, glycogen, fiber, and starch. So starch is what you have in things like pasta, rice. For those of you who are Africans, your gari, your elubo, which is amala, what you use for like yam flour, etc. A little bit of starch in yam as well. Glycogen is what sugar is in the blood. So when it gets into the blood, it's called glycogen. When you eat it, it's sugar, which is the table sugar and the granulated sugar. You know the sugar cubes I'm talking about. Honey also is part of sugar, in fructose and sucrose. Then you also have fiber. So fiber is also carbohydrate, but it's good carbohydrates because when it enters the body, it breaks down much better. It's used for your digestion, for passing stool, etc. And it's good for, it contains a lot of vitamins that is good for your skin, that is good for your bones, that is good for your heart, etc. And the reason why you also have to eat well and take care of your health is because of old age. You see, especially where I am in the UK, you see a lot of people with mobility issues. I'm not saying everything is weight related, but some of it is weight related in their walking sticks, etc. Because when they were younger, they either did not move enough or they were eating a lot of sugars that I mentioned just now, which impacts their health as they get older. And we're seeing a lot of other chronic inflammation. We're seeing a lot of type 2 diabetes. We're seeing a lot of kidney issues, etc. I know, yes, you can say, in the Western world, they have a better healthcare system, but do you really want to use the healthcare system? You don't want to use it as much as possible. You want to take care of yourself so you don't have to use it. And they are just there for emergency purposes and not there for as an everyday kind of thing where you're having to manage yourself. Above all, drink lots of water, try and do as much exercise as possible, and eat well. Hope this video resonated with you. If it did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I hope to do more of these kinds of videos. And if you like these kinds of videos, let me know. If you like this kind of videos where I'm just talking, freestyling, today is about food, tomorrow could be about politics, the next day could be about relationships. I just want to revive the channel. I miss it. I miss you guys. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.